Good evening, everybody. It is Thursday night, and it is round one of our German versus British GT3 series, starting live this evening. A little bit of a different format. You see, we've started just a little bit later this evening. What's happened is we had 20 drivers that would have essentially made it through to the Alpha tier, but there were 25 drivers that had qualified in total. So what's happening in the background, we do have a qualifying server that's up and running. We're just making sure that we've got all the people that are in there. We are going to be crossing over to that shortly. There are about 14 drivers that are in that qualifier. We are taking the top 10 who will then join the top 10 of the top qualifiers that will go into essentially the race server, and we will be able to get the racing underway. So guys, just do bear with us while we just get everybody in the correct servers. We will be joining live all the racing action here this evening here at SARCO. So we will be joining in the commentary box. We'd have Ashley. He is going to be racing this evening. He is just trying to get some lap times in there and just coordinating some of the drivers in the background. Ashley, how are you this evening?
Very well, thanks, Dylan. I'm a bit nervous for this evening's race because some of these guys have been posting some pretty quick times, and I must say that it's going to be one epic race. Some of the guys I've seen, some of the times we've seen at the moment are at low 2-minute 20s,
sure.
Where I'm probably about 2 seconds off the pace at the moment, so I'm really nervous of tonight's race. But there will be some guys, I'm sure, in a similar boat, so there will be some nice close racing nevertheless.
No, 100%. So Ashley, while we are waiting for them, let's just jump into the racing. Let's just see what's happening in the background there. So guys, we are going to just jump into the qualifying lobby just to have a look to see how many drivers are there, because you see that they are in the 5-minute holding pattern, and we will essentially get going into that qualifier once that 5 minutes is up. But as you can see, or I don't know if you've heard, but we have some new tools in terms of our broadcasting, is that they have fixed the spectator's view. I've been playing around with some of those cameras, so it is going to be a little bit more interesting this evening as opposed to just having that one camera. So there we have we've got 10 drivers that are currently here, Ashley. We were expecting 14. There we start seeing some additional drivers coming in, so there we now are up to 11. Peter Heidemann, how's it? First dibs there for you. You're saying good luck, guys, first race. Just having a look at who's currently in this server. We've got Sean, Stig's boss. We did have him racing with us in the last season. We then have Ethan. He is racing with Jean, but Jean's unfortunately stuck at work, so he won't be racing this evening. We then have Memo for the Chasing Beavers. Ronaldo, currently car number 20. You can see that he's in the Mercedes-Benz. Then we've got Ryan. He's then has Adrian Bond, who seems to be joining the Chasing Beavers. There's been some chatter happening in the corridors. Then we've got Sheldon. He was our championship winner for the previous season there in the Bravo tier. Brandon DeSantos, he's joined us as well, car number 27. So 2 of the Porsches are currently in this championship. Then Marshall, he's in 10th place. And then Robert, he is down in 11th, for the 11th driver, I should say. And we are at Spa. So just for us to show off some of the buttons that we have. Actually, I'm just making sure that you're in the racing server. Is that correct? Ashley, come in, Ashley.
Hi Dylan, sorry about that.
I just wanted to confirm that you are in the racing server.
I was in the racing server. I've just left now because I think I should actually be in the qualifying. I'll just double check my position. No, it was 8th. So I'm just trying to get the guys who are not in the top 10 to move to the qualifying server. So there are a couple of guys there in the alpha tier that should, yeah.
So just what I can do is just do a quick little roll call just to make sure that we do have the correct drivers in the correct places. Guys, this is a different format that we had to pull together because we did want to give everybody an opportunity to actually have a race this evening, because that's essentially why the drivers do enter into the leagues. There was talk of possibly splitting the league, but there is nothing worse than driving around for 40 minutes and unfortunately not having a full grid. So the decision was made to rather run a 20 grid race, and the drivers that are outside of the top 10, because we do have our race server that is in the background that is currently running, and that will be reset shortly. But you see, this is just part of one of the glitches that we have. Okay, so that qualifier is now up and running. So now we are able to reset the alpha tier. The race server is reset. There we go. So once the guys are done here, they will have time to join into the alpha tier and still get in for the drivers.
I think Duppy was the one that should have been on the qualifying server. I just need to let him know that he's on the wrong server.
Duppy is with us now.
He is with you guys. Okay, brilliant. Okay, then I think we should have everybody in that qualifying server now. If you don't mind just pulling up the stream so that I can just see what's going on.
100%.
So while Dylan's getting ready, guys, if you want to get involved with the online racing with the SARCO, please go check out our website and sign up, become a member, and register for one of the leagues. We're currently running Project Cars and Assetto Corsa. The Project Cars league is full at the moment, but there are some places available for the Assetto Corsa if you want to come drive, just to make things a little bit interesting in this qualifying. We can accommodate to up to 20 drivers per session in the SCC. So guys, please tell your friends, tell your mates, tell your family members, should I say, and get them racing.
So yeah, this is just some of the new features. We'll have a look at Memo's vehicle. Car number 8 is in the AMG. But now what we're able to do is press a button on drive, and all of a sudden it brings us a whole new little system here. So we're now able to do that. The challenge from here is that you're not able to change the driver, but what we can do is start changing all our different angles. So we can get up into our helicam, which is something that we have not been able to do. Or we could just jump behind him, jump on board with him, and it definitely has changed the way we are now able to view the Assetto Corsa. Not only that, let's just get back and follow him, and we can actually get the camera to look backwards. So this is going to be the view we will be looking at when we head down through a Rouge on the leader. It is going to be absolutely incredible. So Memo, he crosses the line and he's currently put himself in 3rd place. So I'm sure he'll be happy with that. The other thing we're able to do is just change some of those onboard buttons. We can get a nice close look up of Memo in his very purple helmet.
Well, I'm quite excited. This is really cool to see all these camera features now in installed into the Assetto Corsa. We've been lacking this for a while now, and I think this is going to change the whole dynamic of the viewing session for our viewers.
The only challenge is that for me to go and now change the cameras, and I'm still learning this, is I got to go back to the garage, got to confirm that, got to go back down to the driver, and then in the current view that it was set at, we can then change the driver. So there is going to be a little bit of fumbling around, guys, as we start getting used to some of the controls. So I'm not able to change the camera views at this point. What I can do though is I could go into the drive mode, go and select the camera, go back to the garage, and now that's essentially given us the view that we've all know, and then it allows me to now go and change those cameras.
That is mighty interesting. I just want to grab my laptop quickly. I'll be back with you shortly.
So currently, right at the top there, that is Sean Stig's boss, a late entry into the championship. And what this format does is it does allow drivers that have entered later on the opportunity to get a qualifier, get themselves into the main race, and not miss out on any of the action. Looking at some of those comments, guys, keep them coming. Ethan saying this is going to be fun. Ethan is currently qualifying. He is in 6th position. Remember, we are taking the top 10 from this group. We will then go into a 45-minute race with the other 10 drivers that qualified last week. So we will have a full grid of 20 drivers here this evening. Stephen Smith saying, hey boys, it's race day. Whoop whoop. 100% correct there, Stephen. Great shot there of Marshall. Of Tyler going through a Rouge. And I must say, I do quite like that light grey livery that he does have going on there. So guys, if you have just joined us, we are doing the first round of the qualifiers. The top 10 go through to the main race in our race server. This is our qualifying server that is just to accommodate some of the drivers being able and given an opportunity to race. 25 drivers have entered into this league. Unfortunately, we do have Jean and Araf that are not able to race this evening. But I must say that 21.6 from Sean is pretty decent. We have heard that the guys in the race server, almost at the alpha tier, some of the guys that have been practicing, they're in the low 20s. So currently Sean just a little bit off the pace there. If he compares himself to some of the top 10 drivers.
No, that is a mighty impressive time. I don't think I've got anywhere near that pace in my qualifying session so far. So looks like Sean's going to be one of the contenders in the alpha tier.
Well, we say alpha tier, but it's basically the race tier.
The race tier, should I say.
I don't know if that lap will be a valid one there for Ronaldo. Took a lot of curb there. Just wanted to see, is that Dupi? So that is Dupi car number 13. He too has just spun it around, and that is going through the last chicane. Duppy having joined the chasing beavers, you can see in his purple glory there. So 13.5 minutes, or just over 13.5 minutes left of this qualifier. Then currently in 5th place, there's only 3 Porsches that have entered, and that is Sheldon. Sheldon 1.2 seconds off Sean's pace there. We know that the Porsches would battle here, just not able to get up to the top speed of some of the other cars. The series is limited to 4 manufacturers, which is the McLaren, the Porsche, Bentley, as well as the AMG. So currently the 2 drivers that will not be moving on because they haven't posted a time yet is Rono, who is Ryan Abrams, currently in 11th place, and Robert Stoltz in 12th. He too, the McLaren, driving with Tyler Scott. They have the same livery, but both these drivers are going to need to get a lap time together, or else they will be under threat for not being able to qualify for the next round. I see Marshall, he's just put up a much better time. Oh, this is something I almost forgot that we can do now. We can go into the timetables.
Yeah, that's what a difference. We've been struggling.
We can see what the lap times the guys are doing, which is a completely new view for us. It was always an estimate. Man, oh man.
It's interesting to see the different drivers there with quicker times through the different sectors. We've got 3 different drivers with fastest times through the 3 different sections of the track. Tyler there with the quickest in the first section. Then we got our man in front there, I think Sean, with the best time in the second sector. And then there is that Ronaldo, with the quickest in the last sector. So it just shows you, I mean, those top guys there are relatively close together. It's just the matter of hooking up at the right part of the track.
The other interesting thing is they're each driving a different car. So it's not like it's the same car, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that is interesting. So I think we're going to be in for a very good race. I mean, obviously some cars I noticed, especially with the Bentley, they have much better braking in certain parts of the track compared to the Mercedes-Benz that I was driving. I mean, Ross at one point, a couple of times, nearly went into the back of me because he completely, outbraked me, or we braked in the completely different sections of the track, and it caught him a bit by surprise. And I think that's what we want to see here tonight. I know that the McLaren and the Mercedes are pretty close together. Where the Porsche, I haven't seen really much, but Morris came flying past me a couple of times, but he's in a different league altogether. So it was very interesting to watch that and witness that as I was practicing today.
Yeah, man, it's look, the tracks that have been chosen, you'll see that they generally lean from one car to the next. So the guys are definitely going to need to have their wits about them, and yes, the Porsche might not do well here, but there are going to be tracks like the Hungaroring where the Porsche is going to do well, and it's all just about making sure that you're maximizing the car on the track. Just having a look, so Jean, he's come back saying yes, unfortunately missing the qualifiers, but he should be able to watch part of the first race in the quali. Jean, we're looking forward to seeing you next week, man. Unfortunately working late. Raf is saying good luck, AD, have fun guys, and Terry saying go number 2. Number 2 is not currently here, so maybe he is in the top 10 already, but Terry, thanks for joining in. Just under 9 minutes left of this. What sort of time is left in your race server there, Ashley?
I'm just reconnecting back there, sorry. I've had some bit of delays on my side. My apologies. I'll get back in there right now.
Because currently it is Ethan and Adrian who are not going to be qualifying. Adrian, what's that, 4.5 seconds behind the race pace, the top guy. Then we've got Ethan 3.8 versus a 3.4 for Robert. So Ethan needs to find himself another 0.4 of a second in the next 8 minutes. And that should hopefully get him in. Let's jump on board with him. So he's currently going to turn number 10.
So there's currently 11.5 minutes left of complete practice.
Right. Thank you. Turn number 12, he could carry some really good speed through there. He's here to the left hand side, to the British breakdown. Should continue to carry the speed through there. Just lost a little bit of speed, but you should get back on the power. It's currently up. Now on the brakes, down into second, up into the curve, into the 15. Now this is a flat out through here. He had to come off. He should have tightened up that line just a little bit as he went through turn number 16. If you look at the top left, you can see he is just under a second down on his previous lap time. So this is really going to help him. He's just got to keep it together now. Now on the brakes, make sure you decide to first rotate the car right, don't accelerate too much, just roll the car through the last corner, that one wide, and that's going to get him across the line, a 24.3. Now we just got to return to garage, so that puts Ethan up into 8th place, and now that unfortunately it drops Robert down, and he's got to find himself half a second between himself and Brandon, and so there goes Robert now. So we'll definitely just jump back to see what happens with him. Then that half a second is 0.7, 0.6, and then 0.9. So 1 second if Robert is able to find that, he can move himself up. That will then drop Brandon down, and then it is game on once again between Ethan, Ryan, and then Brandon. Changed the camera before I left.
Such a pity that you can't have like a race director and a broadcaster like you have in the project cars, but still a massive improvement to what we had before. At least you're able to see a majority of the vehicles now.
Well, the thing is, we can see all the vehicles, we can change all the cameras. It's just the way the cameras operate, because you're basically going to a driving mode to change the camera. It's not necessarily like a broadcasting mode, which I reckon in a broadcasting mode, that's then going to allow you to change drivers. The other crazy thing is that I'm definitely going to have to figure out how to do it, but we're able to go back and watch a replay live. It's a bit fidgety because you're not able to just go replay, click on where you want it to play from. So you've got to kind of like jump a few seconds forward, but we do have access to replays, which I think is absolutely incredible. So 4 minutes left, and we've got the top 5 drivers who are in the pits already. So 4 minutes left, apologies. They are not going to be able to get out and do another lap. But what we're focusing on is the battle right at the bottom. Who we're looking at is Robert. So he's going to cross the line. This is going to be his flyer. He has got half a second to find over himself and Brandon DeSantos. So there's Brandon now crossing the start-finish line. So he is right behind Robert. So we are going to be able to see this unfold right at the end. We'll now get Brandon coming through up a Rouge. Ooh, little kick of the rear there as he went up over the curb. Adrian Bond, 4.5 seconds off the pace, so that is a second that he's still going to need to find over Robert. So that looked very neat and tidy for Adrian, going through turn number 16 now. I wonder if I go on the wall ahead. That was weird. So Adrian just not finding that additional time that was required. Where is Sheldon? So Sheldon flying down the back straight through Blanquimont. Now as he approaches the chicane turns 19 and 20. We'll see whether he is able to improve on his time. So no improvement there for him. So currently looking at Robert, and there we go. Robert has found himself 0.8. He's just invalidated that lap. We're having a run wide through turn number 18. So he's gonna have one last go at this. He went in really deep there. And is that the end? Is he gonna be able to get in that one last lap? Because I think that is Brandon DeSantos has just been saved there. Robert just had to bring it home. So Brandon, he crosses the line but doesn't improve on his time, so he's still 2.976 seconds off that time. We have got 1 minute left of this qualifying. Whoa! And that is a Porsche up into the wall. Let's get back to Robert. So it is now all up to Robert. If he's able to find half a second, and you can see currently down 2.1. So unfortunately that is all she wrote for Robert as well as for Adrian Bond. They unfortunately will not be proceeding further to the 14-minute race. You can see that's McLaren bouncing off the walls there. So it does look like that Ryan has been able to get himself through there. So we currently have Sean, Tyler, 0.4 off the pace there in second place. So really good time there for Tyler. Marshall will go through, Ronaldo goes through, Sheldon goes through, Memo goes through, Duppy goes through, Ethan he qualifies, as well as Ryan, and Brandon DeSantos, he is safe. Unfortunately not so much for Robert, as well as Adrian Bond. You can see he has now crossed the start-finish line, so that is all she wrote. So, gentlemen, that is it. The end of our qualifier. We now are able to just exit and go into our race server, and we will be able to just catch up some of that time. So while we're just loading up the next server, just having a look at the comments, we see Louis, he's joined us saying, how's everyone? Louis, welcome back. We definitely have missed all our viewers and followers, and it is so nice that we are back and racing once again. I must say it is an absolute pleasure not having to go and get the blue screen, having to restart all the time. Really awesome. Not only that, but we can go in and out of the servers as we want without having any problems.
Green light, go, go, go.
So there we go, guys. You can see that we had just aligned the servers to start so that we were able to get our qualifying done, and then the drivers would have been able to just jump into the race server. You can see that they are now coming to the end. What's happening now? I've lost my mouse. Just reset that to a quick look at the time. So there's Jake's 2:20.2. Then there's Connor 0.3 off that time. And Marius 1 second off the pace. Jason is 1 second off the pace. Okay, we now have 19 drivers in. Are you going to do the drivers briefing, Ashley?
I will do the driver's briefing.
Green light, give it all you can.
Welcome, gentlemen, to the first round of this Great Britain versus Germany. I hope you guys are excited, and well done to the guys who qualified. Some good times there, so especially by the stick box. Guys, as per usual, please watch out for the first corner. Just take it easy. There are almost 20 drivers in this field, so there are going to be some rubbing and bumping. But guys, let's try to be as considerate as possible. If we can all get around the first lap, I think it'll just make things a lot easier. Other than that, if you have any problems with any other driver, there's no point swearing at them or telling them how's your mother and all that sort of stuff. Kindly report it to us after the race and we will deal with it. Just make note of the time of when it happened and we'll try to go back and see what we can do to resolve the issue. Perhaps you could even, if possible, just record the race if you do get into a interpretation or something. Okay, guys, have fun and enjoy. May the best man win.
Thanks, thank you. Thanks, guys. Enjoy. Enjoy, Jen.
Enjoy. Good luck.
Right, Dylan, the driver's briefing has been completed.
Thank you kindly. We're just trying to get Sheldon in because we do only have 19 drivers. Not sure why he hasn't joined us.
Maybe doing a quick pit stop before the race.
So guys, we're just waiting for the time to run out, and I keep forgetting that I've got to just go back to the pits. So there's the full driver, so 1.5 minutes left of that little 5-minute free practice that does get set up. We will go straight into the qualifying now, and then after that straight into the 40-minute race. White Knuckle Sim Racing Club, they've joined us and say, here we go, good luck Morris, how's it been? I'm assuming that that's Barry, a long time dude, I hope you've been well. Barry all the way from Ireland visiting here this evening. So we're just trying to catch up with Robert, trying to get him in, because it looks like Sheldon has withdrawn from the race and saying that he wants the 11th place driver to take his spot. So we have just messaged Robert to say, come and join.
Dylan, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Green light, show them what you got.
Okay, so our official qualifying is now underway. So we are currently watching Marius, and we can see Marius no longer in his green number colors that he was in from last season, I should say. Is that we did decide to Marius would rather race against the green numbers than be a part of them.
Some reason why you wouldn't put Adam Cross in the center of the set.
Yeah, we're in the same team.
Yeah, but look what happened.
True story, true story. So what is transpired is there we've got Jakes in that car number 13 in the Bentley, and his new teammate, and signed him up just for this season, and that is Ross, our Scottish international, who's joined the Green Numbers, and see how that goes. So we have dropped some messages to Robert, because we're kind of getting to a point now, if Robert or Sheldon aren't able to join, we're going to have to tell Adrian Bond to jump in. So Adrian, I hope you're watching. Oh, there we go. So the McLaren sign is coming in, so that means that Robert is joining us. So he is only going to have a couple of minutes, so maybe just 2 laps in terms of getting himself a qualifying lap in. Brandon Santos saying good luck, guys. I say Brandon left that very, very close, boy. So to those watching, just remember that Deliver Your Parcel is the sponsor for the season, and you're able to go to www.deliveryourparcel.co.za for a full online quoting system. They have really been getting some great reviews lately. Definitely an up-and-coming business. Actually got confirmation that they now got his first vehicle with his own branding on, where before everything had done through third parties. So definitely a lot of really cool things happening with Deliver Your Parcel. Not only that, is between SARCO and Deliver Your Parcel, we will be putting together a 3-man team that will take on the July race in the F400 karting endurance series. So the 3 winners, the podium winners from both the Alpha and Bravo tier on the Monday night, as well as the 3 podium winners here, the 3 drivers go into a draw, and we will then pull 3 drivers that will then go and be invited to come and race in the SARCO / Deliver Your Parcel Invitational team.
And I got the opportunity to use my parcel today.
Oh, that is fantastic.
And was quite impressed with the professional service I got from Megan, who quickly replied to my emails and was able to assist me.
So Megan is the person that I deal with all the time. So to everyone who has ordered a SARCO merchandise, your cap was sent to you by Deliver Your Parcel and handled by Megan. So having a look at some times coming through, and at the moment we've got Ross top of the tables in his Bentley, a 2-minute 21.0. Then we saw Sean, he was in the qualifier server a little bit earlier, 0.4 off the pace there. Then Jason has say he was 0.4 off the pace there, but he was 0.4 off Ross's pace, because we've got Jacques who's just done a 2:20.6, but then it is extremely close between Jason, Marius, and then Craig. Half a second separating those drivers there. So 4 minutes left of the qualifying, and what is going to happen is the guys who are currently on a flyer will get this lap plus one more, and that will be all they rode. So essentially three flying laps is what you're able to get. So have a look at Jason, who has joined the Black Mambas team. He is driving with Stephen, Jason in the black with red trim, and there's Stephen with the black and green trim. Some really amazing color schemes happening here. Then we've got Marshall. He's in the AMG driving for Chasing Beavers, and you can see a very interesting livery there for him. We've got who's a car number 19, who's a position 19. That's Duppy, who's on the side of the track. The car number 14, there he is. So it looks like he's headed off. Marshall just allowing the Bentley to go past him. So far the top 5 cars are all Bentleys. Then that's top 6 cars are Bentleys. Marius is in 7th place. He is in the Porsche. Then it is Bentley, then AMG, McLaren, AMG, McLaren, Bentley, Porsche, AMG, then McLaren. So a big mix-up of cars further down, but the top 6 all in Bentleys. And it just so happens that this track definitely does favor the Bentleys. But it all depends on what's going to happen in the race itself. You can see Jacques Racing, it has just done a 2:19.7, so really starting to bring down those times. In his R&R colours, that was a little bit wide there for Jacques, taking a lot of curve on their exit. Looks like Jason, who's currently up into 2nd place, he's called it quits for the qualifying, saying that's as much as he can go. Jakes is still on a flyer now, approaching the start finish line, going through the final chicane. Let's see if he is able to improve his time as he crosses the line. So Jakes goes 2nd, 0.8 off the time. Did Morris improve? No, he's still down in 7th position. So Stephen in 8th. He's currently coming through turns number 9. No, apologies, that was turn 13 and 14 through the campus. He's now exiting out of turn 15 now through turn number 16. So that is the end of the qualifying session. 2.5 minutes left of this waiting period, and Jacques Racing out in front. Then it is Jakes in 2nd place. I keep forgetting that we can bring up the timer, and that's pretty interesting to me because Jakes had the fastest last sector. Jason in the 3rd position, a 2:20.9 for him. Then Ross a 2:21.0. Sean a 221.2, Stephen 221.3. Extremely close in from second, third, fourth down into 7th place, and it Ashley's been able to take that AMG, get himself up into 8th with Connor, who's no longer known as AD Alexander, who is actually his dad, has got himself his own PSN ID in 8th place. Morris down in 9th place. It's going to be a massive challenge there for him. Then Marshall, he's in 11th position with his teammate Memo ahead. Marshall ahead of his teammate, who's in 12th. Then we got Tyler down in 13th place with Ronaldo 14. Ethan qualifies in 15th place with Robert in 16th. Pete down in 17th. Ryan is 18th. Brandon Santons in 19th place. And then Adupi down in 20th position. We're just waiting for the time to run down. Just have a quick look at our comments. So Sheldon saying, good luck gents, Alberkoff. I wonder what does that, because I saw that Louis did that too. Yeah, there. So it shows an Alberkoff, but it doesn't come up on my side as an Alberkoff.
Well, I'm pretty amazed. I got ahead of Carter and Greg.
Oh wow, I was looking at Morris down in 8th place, and he's managed to fight his way back. He's actually in 5th position, so that was an incredible comeback there for Morris.
I think I'm just going to use my qualified setup. It seems to work.
Just add fuel.
I'm just going to add fuel.
Apologies, Conrad. I see that I missed your comment there saying, good luck, Marshall. Give that puppy the onion and make it cry. I do quite like that. So guys, we have 45 minutes of racing ahead of us. And Ashley is still in our commentary box, so I'll try not to speak about him too much, because I know as soon as we talk about him, that's when things go a little bit
30 seconds.
But actually, it does look like we will be doing the full formation lap before we get into the race.
10 seconds.
Oh wait, oh no, I can't do anything. Yeah. So guys, we are going to be going for the full qualifying lap. Listen to me. The full formation lap. And that's just going to allow the guys to get themselves into the right position, make sure their brakes are up to temperature, the tires are doing what they should be. You can hear Jacques really using those brakes. You can see in the bottom right hand corner, got the throttle on, and every now and again just heating those brakes hard, get temperature up into them. Oh, I can't go back to the garage yet. So we are stuck with Jacques.
A bit nervous with the corner right behind me, I must say. My poor driver is going to experience a bit of pain.
So whichever line he is on, you just take the opposite one.
no, it's pretty bad just from a warm-up note. Whoa.
So guys, if you are still on the stream, let us know. And just tell us your thoughts. What do you think about the new cameras that we've got? I know that it's still a little bit interesting to try and figure out. But at least we're able to change the cameras. We are able to change the drivers we follow. We are able to jump in the car with them. Jacques is going side to side, getting as much temperature into those tires as possible. What would have been ideal was for us to be able to change the driver now so that we could go down the order.
Maybe an idea is to have 2 PlayStations ready. Have a capture card that can have 2 inputs.
You're still only getting two views.
Yeah. While the one's updating, the other one's playing.
No, it's just that now is that I'm not able to return back to the garage, so I can change the driver. So now that they should all start lining up side by side. Now they're going to be approaching the start-finish line down the hill to Rouge.
Green light, go, go, go.
There we go, green light, and we are currently racing here at SPA-Francorchamps, 45 minutes ahead of us. Like that was Stephen in the background there who got himself a little bump there. Now we can turn and just jump a little bit further down the order. Change the camera. Now I can go back. Guys, apologies with the stuffing around of the cameras. We're just trying to figure out what the best way to do this. That looked like Craig went very, very wide there. That was going through turn number 12. Then out in front is Jacques, who's starting to open up a bit of a gap already between himself and Jakes as he exits through turn number 15, now turn number 16, and it is Jakes chasing down the L&R driver, and Ross trying to get a run on Jason just ahead of him. And these four have opened up a little bit of a gap already between themselves and Sean. And that was confirmation there from Ashley. You can see down in 20th place was Marius, Stephen 2 down there in 18th place. So there was definitely a little bit of contact that happened down there. And that was Ronaldo getting a little tap on the nose there, but Stevens now decided to rather go into the pits now, possibly go and get some damage fixed, whatever, or if he can. Morris is way down the field there, so he would be approaching now into the chicanes. I'm pretty sure that he's going to want to go into the pits now as well, get any of that damage fixed, and then get himself back into this race. So out in front currently is Jacques, our current back-to-back world champion, back-to-back SARCO champion, and he's opened up a bit of a gap between himself and Jakes. 1.5 seconds is the gap. Then we've got Jason, who's in third place. Ross not able to put enough pressure on him earlier on, but then it is very, very congested further down. See Ronaldo, he's also taken some damage in front of that it looks like it's had some rubbing. So from Ronaldo there's a train of 4 Mercedes, and it is Ronaldo for 1, then a Memo driving for Chasing Eagles, Ashley for the NASCAR, and then Marshall down in 16th place. So definitely something that happened there, because Marshall was a little bit further up the order. Definitely a huge incident. I wonder if we can actually go back and see what had happened. I should have thought about that earlier. You can hear all those cars changing down as they approach. Oh, why am I stuck? Actually putting a lot of pressure onto Memo. That's not. Positions are changing so quickly that I'm getting myself all confused. It is Marshall that's putting pressure up on Memo. So thank you there, Ashley, for confirmation. You see the pits going in. So Ryan's pitted, Brandon's pitted, Steven's pitted, and Morris have pitted.
Yeah, there's a couple of guys who got caught out in the Rouge, and I was one of them, and I think it's because I just had the full tank and I wasn't quite settled yet, and spun the car around, and now I'm coming up to the pits.
So a really good battle starting to build now. Jason really starting to close up on the back of Jakes. But it is the man out in front, Jacques Racing. You can see the 3 seconds is the gap that he's now pulled there. And Connor currently in 5th place is doing really well in that Bentley. jump on board with Jason currently in third place, chasing Jakes, who's just ahead of him. So Jason uses his best to keep the car slowed down. You know, 121.3 is Jason's best lap. His last 121.8. Such the curve, just here, the traction control just kicked in a little bit there, just stop some of the power, but that's allowed Jason to get the flat. Trying to figure out what was going on there, because it looked like it's Robert, because Robert's bouncing all over the place. The game is completely confused with that Ronaldo. That's
Ronaldo, you're lagging very bad, eh?
yeah, there we go. There's confirmation there. That was Marshall that said Ronaldo. You're lagging bad, so you can see that Ronaldo has now jumped to the pits. Obviously, he does not want to ruin any of the other drivers' races.
Guys, I decided start on this line all over the place.
So it's very unfortunate there for Ronaldo having to retire due to some connection challenges. So of the drivers that have pitted, Ryan, he's currently the first of the pitted drivers, knowing that all the drivers behind him did get involved with the Rouge incident. We've got Sean, who's now got to a point where he's now decided it's time to go into the pits to get his pit stop done and dusted. But Jacques now opening up 4 seconds between himself and Jakes, and Jake still has Jason chasing him behind with Ross, followed by there comes Connor in the background there racing for his finest, followed by his teammate Craig, who is a good couple of seconds behind him. So you can see 10 seconds is the gap between Craig and Connor. Seventh place, that is Ethan. That's a really good time there for Ethan, because remember, he was down in just about 9th place in the previous qualifiers, so that would have put him around about 19th on the grid if he had to have done a normal qualifier. going 260. Now we can get that car flat out, get that McLaren nicely lined up. Now turn 18. Short of that, you can you'll find a little more time there. Past the white line, onto the brakes, down into first, let the car turn in onto the curb, little touch of the brake, get the nose down, back in power. There comes Ethan in his very, very nicely coloured McLaren. So Ross starting to get some pressure from the young Connor. So just getting some confirmation from Terence saying that my voice is a little bit soft. Badly to hear it, so let's see if this is going to fix it. So Terence, just let me know if that is better, because the car sounds that can be cut just a little bit more. So let me know if that's better. That's what the viewer wanted. There we go. Flat out through turn number 18. Now onto the brakes. Looks like Connor was better on the brakes there than Ross. You can see how nicely Connor has closed that gap up between himself and Ross. Let's just have a look. 6 seconds is now the gap between race leader Jacques and second place Jakes. Jake still has Jason chasing behind him, and we see them starting to close up on the back of Brandon DeSantos. Then we have seen some of the battles between Connor and Ross. Connor really putting a lot of pressure onto the back of our new green Mamba driver. Craig falling a little bit further down the order, and Ethan, he's up into 7th place. Here we see him coming past, and there goes Pete in the 777 Duppy for the Chasing Beavers. He's currently in 9th, followed by his teammate Memo. Then 5 seconds behind is Robert, and I think I saw Morris a little bit further back. Yeah, there we go, there's Morris in that Porsche. So Morris starting to close up on the back of Marshall. 3.7 seconds is the gap there, and that will be for position. But I'm seeing how close this battle is getting, and now 3.3 seconds is the distance between Jakes and Jason. That's what I was looking for. Jason just having a little look on the inside into turn 1. It's not that he was going to have a lunch, it's just to try and unsettle the driver ahead of you. Does he keep it pinned? Little lift off there, but that has put Jakes. He took a bit of a cut there, so I wonder whether that could be possibly a warning for him. But Jason has been able to keep that car pinned through the top of the rouge, and he's closing up onto Jakes. It was just getting out of the way there. Jason almost didn't get that car stopped in time, but no harm, no foul. It was a great helicopter shot, watching them come through turn number 11. Now here through turn number 12, it's a little touch of the brakes to get the car turned in, then ease that power on, carry the speed through the second phase of turn number 12, then onto turn number 13. You should be able to carry about 140 through the exit here now, and then straight back on the power and carry all the speed on the outside. Jason a little hesitant to get that power on, and he did have to come off just to help get that car turning in. So will Jason be close enough to have a look onto the inside as they approach the chicanes at turns number 18? Why hasn't the camera changed? What has happened? Oh, there we go. But no, Jason was not able to make a move there. I see Sarge has joined us in the commentary box. Good evening, Sarge. How are you?
Hey, Dylan. I'm good. Yourself, man?
Very good. Still trying to get our way around these new camera angles. You'll be able to, as you see some of that action there on the Discord stream. Currently watching the battle between Jakes and Jason. Jason just not able to get close enough to Jakes to make a pass.
Yeah, at least I'm sure at least the camera angle is a bit better than it was before.
That is correct. So just having a look at Pete, he's now chasing down Ethan. Now we can get not that car. So I don't know why they put a camera behind the tree. It doesn't make sense at all.
So what were the quality times looking like?
So Shark Racing managed to get down to a 2:19.7, and then Jason, Jakes, Ross were in the 2:20s.
Quick.
So very, very quick times there indeed.
I jumped on last night with the guys just to have a bit of fun and practice.
So that is normally the view that we've had to learn to love, and I must say it does look absolutely fantastic seeing all 20 cars in there. And unfortunately Ronaldo having to disconnect. The guys were just saying that he was lagging a little bit too much, and his comment back was saying that he was seeing cars jumping around, so he didn't ruin anybody else's race. He did decide just to call it quits this evening. Having a look at the comments coming through on the stream. Taryn saying much better. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Taryn. Thank you for the feedback. It's always good to make sure that we are getting the right a sound quality coming through. And then my brother's just joined, Clayton Yane. I was wondering why he didn't say I'm here now. Nevertheless, we are approaching the halfway mark. Who else is doing some battles other than this one who is getting... Jason must be finding it very frustrating being, I'd say, inverted brackets stuck behind Jakes. He just hasn't been able to find a way around him, and every time he is able to get close enough to make a pass, it has been very difficult. So looking at the drivers that have pitted, we see Ethan, he's going to the pits now. He did have Pete behind him, so Pete's now moved himself up into 6th place. But then Craig, who was behind Connor, he was in 5th. I see Ross has now dropped down, so Connor's got a place over Ross. I wonder whether that wasn't a mistake there from him. But Craig is essentially the first of the drivers that have pitted. We do see Sean is 6 seconds behind him, so where he will come out is definitely needs to be seen. So Craig's already gone through a rouge, so that means that Ethan will be pitting behind him. Sean's gone past. Where's Ryan? So Ryan's going up the top of the hill now, so there's Ethan. So unfortunately Ethan's gonna have lost some places there, so Ryan are now behind Ethan, now behind Ryan, which means that when Pete pits, we know that Pete was chasing Ethan, that Pete's going to also drop down the order, but whether he'll be able to slot himself in front of Ethan or whether he will be further behind and possibly within that 10 seconds between Ethan and Stephen. So back to the action of Jason and Jakes as they are now head towards turn number 9. Can just hit a bit of a jump on board there. So 20 minutes left of this race. We do have about half of the drivers that still need to go and do their mandatory pit stop. So there isn't anything that has to be done. The car just needs to be lifted, and no tires or fuel need to be added. What that does is once the car is lifted, you do get given that mandatory pit stop. But this looks like Jason's got a really good run on the back of Jakes. Will he be able to carry the slipstream? He's just going to be able to carry the speed through turn number 18. He's going to try and go around the outside. No, he must just, if he's able to stick to his right hand side. He's just going to try the outside. No, he's now going to try the cut back. Not close enough. So Jakes is able to live one more lap. But it might have been a much better option there for Jason to possibly go into the pits and get himself away from Jakes. Because that could very well be what's happening, is that he's now being slowed down by Jakes. So some more drivers coming out of the pits. So that is, I see that's Marshall who's gone past. Or is that, no, apologies, it's Dupi and Memo. So there's car number 8. Connor goes to the inside. He should have been able to get past there. So there he goes. So he has been able to get up on the inside of Dupi. So Dupi is down in 13th position. So these guys now are making their way through the back markers. But not necessarily back markers, because remember the top 6 still need to pit, and we are just keeping our eye on where people come out. Is that in front of Ethan, or does he slot in behind Ethan and between himself, and get himself between Ethan and Stephen? And Jake's 15 seconds is the gap now between the race leader. So Jacques actually putting on an extremely flawless performance here. So Jacques having won the last 5 races that he has raced with us, and here he's going to make it a 6 in a row here of the first race within this German versus British GT3 championship. And just remember guys, this season is proudly brought to you by Deliver Your Parcel. If you'd like to find out more, the details are in the description below. Go check them out on their website. They are on Facebook as well, so you can go and see them there. So we've got both Ross and Jason who have now come into the pits. So almost thinking, I wonder whether he heard me. Because now that's released Jake, so he won't have that pressure of having Jason following him. And Connor seems to be closing up the gap, because that's now 3.1 seconds here. So that's the 3.1 is now 3 seconds. So Connor's definitely closing up onto the back of Jake's. This is an extremely long pit exit. So Craig is only now coming approaching turn number 18, so it looks like that Jason and Ross oh, that's interesting, is that there are guys that are their pit wall is actually right on the other side. That is very interesting indeed.
I think it's Ethan.
Stephen and Ethan, really?
Yeah, I think they came together. So I've just managed to get past them.
So Stephen is currently ahead of Ethan.
Yeah, Ethan was ahead of Stephen. Reeling me in on this straight here.
So it's just a jump on board with Stephen in that Bentley with pink gloves. That's very So Stephen went in way too deep into turn 10. On a little bit wider there on turn 11. A bit hesitant on the power.
They may have set possibly tires that spin. That is very fast part of the track. Maybe the car is not spinning exactly like it was.
It's going a little bit deeper into this corner as well.
Found that off my spinning car. Just not ending like it should have.
What kind of speed are you getting now?
About 50 now.
So we're basically doing the same speed here because we said doing 250 now. That's exactly when Stephen's 250 kicked in. You can see his lap time versus his fastest sector, and that time coming down. He's not making too much headway. Ashley lives another day down the Kemmel Strait. So that's an interesting change of events, is that Jason is behind Connor now. Let's set 2 cameras on really good. Might have had to do something with the pits, because we do have Jason now putting a lot of pressure on the back of Connor, so he has been able to close up that gap. Connor cut a little bit of Radion as he came up over the hill, and Jason is in that slipstream, but he's not going to be close enough to be able to make a move there. So we're down to 10 minutes left of this race, and we're currently looking at the battle between 3rd and 4th, and that is Connor just ahead, and we're currently driving on board with Jason. And they are approaching the back of Marshall. Like Marshall just went straight on there just to get out of the way completely from this battle. Oh! So that was very unfortunate there for Jason, because it looked like Connor was a little bit slow, a little bit of a lag, and Jason ended up just spinning Connor around. Jason just slowing down, letting Connor take that place back. It just wasn't able to get going again. But that's really good sportsmanship there for Jason. Well done, man. So having a look at the battle between Stephen and Ashley, and Stephen still hasn't been able to find himself a way around Ashley yet. So Ashley is making that AMG extremely wide.
It's gonna be a tough 10 minutes.
So a battle here between Robert and Duppy, and Robert able to go around the outside. So we do have Pete in the pits. I'm not too sure whereabouts in the pits he is, but we do see that. Hold on, what's happened? We've got Jakes, who's now 2 laps down. Jakes is in the pits and doesn't look like that he's racing anymore. And it does look like Morris is retired as well, because he's down in the pits as well. Brandon is still circulating, but we've got Jakes. There we go. So Brandon, as I go into Brandon, did he just disconnect?
He's got a good run on me. So quick.
Let's go look. So 6 minutes left of this race, and it is Jacques Racing out in front, who has led from start to finish. Jason was having a bit of a battle with Jakes, but we see that he's now down 12 laps. 12 laps. He's now down 3 laps. It was Ronaldo who had retired 12 laps ago.
I think I'm going to run out of fuel.
Well, with 5.5 minutes left to go, and looking at where you are going to need to do at least 2 more laps. How many litres have you got left?
Yeah, look.
So I'm just wanting to see whether Ross is going to be able to close up this gap between himself and Connor, because they are definitely getting closer. That gap is saying 1.7 seconds. I'm just going to wait for them to cross the next sector. Goes very wide there, going through turn number 12, so that's going to allow Ross to get very close here to Connor. So now we get to see whether Ross has been able to instill some number fever. These guys are battling for the last place of the podiums. No, Ross, keep it flat. It's now hard to see the braking zone down at the chicane. Ross is on the curb very neat and tidy. Gets very close to Connor. it is a Bentley versus Bentley.
Oh, my fuel light just came on. Okay.
Yeah, you've still got 2 laps.
Oh, hello.
While Ross is putting lots and lots of pressure, he's not able to get close enough to force an overtake. See, Ryan's had to go back into the pits. And Ashley, was that you retiring to the pits?
Yeah, somebody's in front of me. I think it was Ryan.
Alright, man, the leader is on the final lap. Give it a final push.
Can't believe it. Got some square on. Oh,
Yeah, I'm not seeing Ryan at all. So there's the confirmation that Jacques, our race leader, who has been absolutely on point this evening, Brandon DeSantos took the words right out of my mouth. He's led from start to finish. Has got about, I think it's about, I was going to say 28 seconds, 29 seconds between himself and Jason. Jakes, who was up there, you can see 5 laps ago. And currently we've got Connor and Ross fighting for the last spot on the podium. So this is going to be Ross's last lap to see whether he's able to get himself ahead of Connor. Tyler down in 12th place. I was just going to say, it's been very quiet. I haven't really spent much time following him around this evening. But there we go, Tyler racing with Robert, both of them in the very similar colours. Duppy in his first race for the Chasing Beavers, where he finishes now, that currently gives him some points in the bag. There's there was Marshall, also part of the Chasing Beavers. So we got Marshall, Memo, and Duppy, the three of them racing in the purple liveries. But we still have Ryan, Ashley, Jakes, Marius, and Ronaldo. Those 5 drivers retiring to pits.
I might be able to go out and finish the race. So got 20 seconds left to repair the car.
The leader has finished the race.
The leader has already finished the race, so I'm afraid
that's not going to happen. So we there see Jacques going into turn number 1. He's going to go possibly do some donuts. And then here comes Jason. He should be in the chicane now. Cameraman Tim very, very confused on where Jason is. And it is going to be a last lunge for Ross in through the chicanes. Why is the camera doing this to us now? So Connor, he will across the line in 3rd place. A great drive there for him. Ross comes home in a 4th position, followed by Craig in 5th. Sean, who qualified top of the qualifier, he finds himself in a 6th place with Pete in 7th. So he did manage to get himself ahead of Stephen and Ethan after all. So a 7th place there for Stephen, for Pete, and 8th place for Stephen. Ethan comes home in 9th place. I'm sure he'll be happy with that. With Memo in 10th, Robert 11th, Tyler in 12th, Duppy in 13th place. Ashley looks like he made it back onto the track in 14th, with Ryan in 15th, and Marshall in 16th place, with Jakes, Marius, and Ronaldo retiring.
How many points for 14?
You get about 2 or 3, I think, or maybe 4.
Well, that's better than nothing.
Yeah, it's better than a kick in the teeth.
Yeah, and it's still round 1, so I was quite happy with the pace. I was quite surprised with the qualifying of the Mercedes-Benz versus those Bentleys. So yeah, I just need to learn to keep my head down and focused and finish a race without any incidents.
100%, Ashley. So if we can just get the drivers in for the interviews.
Green light, give it all you got.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
As Connor, yes we can. There we've just had
Awesome.
Jacques that's joined us. Just going to get Jason in. Okay guys, we have all the drivers in for the drivers interviews. And let's start off with you, Connor. A very interesting race there for you. You were in 4th place for quite a bit of the race. You were just not quite there. But then after the pit stops, you had a Ross chasing you down for a good couple of laps, but you were able to keep your head together and take your first podium here at SARCO.
Yeah, it was a really challenging race. I was running second for a long time, and I should have finished second, but I got tapped going into that right-hander just before the
turn
last
number
long
13.
straight.
Don't
So I
worry,
overheated
we got
my
it.
tyres.
We got it on the stream, and you'll see exactly what happened. There's a little bit of a glitch, and yeah, unfortunately, Jason had nowhere to go, and the little nudge. So I promise you that was not intentional.
No, it's all good. It's all good. But then I spun going into Blanchimont and flat spotted my tires. So then the rest of the race was really challenging to keep Ross, who was really quick at the end, behind me with those flat spotted tires. I was hopping all over the place. It was quite ridiculous.
Incredible, but a great drive in the end there for you.
Yes, it was really pleasant drive. Challenging at the end, but I was really quick. I think if I qualified better, I could have won, but I didn't. So
No
P3,
problem.
I'll settle for it.
There's always next week. Cool. Let's go to you, Jason.
Exactly.
You were chasing Jake's for a good couple of laps there in the beginning. Just not able to find your way past him. We were actually saying that it might actually have been a better strategy for you to possibly pit a little bit earlier, because it looked like you had the pace on him, just not able to get overtake him.
Yeah, I was actually quite quick in that last sector, so I kept on catching that last sector, and one time I kind of forced him to make a mistake there. I outbraked myself as well there, so I thought I'll try and pit a little bit before him, and then somehow I lost both positions when I went to the pits.
And the positions in the pits, that has been something that you have experienced before. Is it just the stopping, just not getting the car stopped correctly, or are you changing things in the car?
Well, I didn't really think that I lost so much time in the pits. I don't know how I lost actually so much. I just did as little as possible, but yeah, I lost the time.
Well, a second place for you on the podium, a really good drive, and I'm really looking forward to seeing next week.
Yeah, it was great fun. Just a pity about Jake's. It was actually a good race between me and him.
No, 100%. Let's go to you, Jacques. On pole, led from start to finish, so a quieter race there for you. Jakes and Jason obviously battling it out, which just allowed you just to open that gap ever so slightly and gradually just to a point, and then all of a sudden that was the end of it, and you ran away with it by just over 30 seconds in the end.
Yeah, no, it was a bit of a quiet race. I did see the gap between Jason and Jake's the whole time. They were having quite a good fight according to the lap times. But yeah, very quiet race. To be honest, I was just focused just to gap Jake's and everyone else and just keep my lines clean. Just don't hit anyone, and yeah, I guess I brought it home, and yeah, it's a good start to season 3.
Awesome, a great win for you, and that's now I think it's 6 wins in a row for you.
I think so. I haven't been counting, so I'm just actually just enjoying it, and yeah.
No.
And congrats to Connor and Hazard for second and third.
Absolutely awesome. So
when are you going to stop winning, Jacques?
when you drive faster, Connor.
I don't know. Come.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much. It was really awesome to watch. Guys, if you have not seen, the sponsor for this season is Deliver Your Parcel. You are able to go and check all the details. They are in the description below, or you can go to www.deliveryourparcel.co.za. All you need to do, if you want to send a parcel, just quote the word SARCO in the special instructions, and you will get a SARCO preferred rate, which is part of the agreement that we do have with them. And SARCO do use Deliver Your Parcel as their preferred courier service, so they do know who we are.
Guys, and yeah, I managed to actually get around to using them today, and I must say it was a fantastic service all around. Megan was very quick to respond to my email and managed to get my query sorted. Guys, if you do want to be a part of the SARCO team, please come and join us. Go check out our website, www.sarcoracing.co.za. Sign up, become a member, check out our merchandise. You can get these cool caps. We also have some nice refreshing water bottles that you can purchase from us, and we also have some face masks if you want to protect yourself from COVID. You can also check us out on Facebook and watch our live streams on YouTube
and Facebook.
Yeah,
indeed. All right, guys, thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you. We are racing our round number 1 in our GT3 Sprint Series, and that's on a Monday night in Project Cars, and then we will be racing once again next week right here at SARCO. for our round 2 of our German versus British GT3 series. So guys, all I can say is until then, keep practicing, and thanks for watching. Yos.
Cheers, man. Thanks, guys.
Bye.